Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Uh, welcome back to my channel. I hope you missed all of this. Today's topic is gonna be about things you should know before you go to university. I thought I'd talk about this topic because as a graduate, I feel like I have some experience, honey. Well, these are only based on my observations, so if you have anything else that you think people should know, comment down below and let us know what other people should know before going to university. I'm open to hear ideas if I've missed anything. But yeah, let's get started. First point I wanted to mention is that this might sound a bit mad, but not everyone wants to make friends at university. This is something I've learned the hard way because I consider myself a very I love making friends. So I'm just that kind of person oh, I want to make friends with her, I want to make friends with him, oh my god, they look like just such a cool person, I want to be around them, surround myself with them. I love making friends, but sometimes you have to understand not everybody want to make friends at university because maybe they might have come with their friends from college, high school, they might already have their set friendship group and they might not intend to, expand that group. They might just come with that intention, I came here to study, that's it. Then you know what, that's okay, but I thought I'll just let you guys know. You don't get a rude awakening. Next one is, don't feel like you have to give in to peer pressure. Okay, sorry I got distracted. Someone is literally the same two people have walked by my window twice or 3 times within the time span of 10 seconds, 15 seconds. There and back, and I'm like, it can be really awkward living behind a forest, which is open to the public. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. Do not fall for peer pressure. It is really not worth it. You might just feel there's a lot of people. Maybe, for example, they're telling you to drink and you're just not that person. You may be an apple juice kind of person. You may be an orange juice kind of person, which is my kind. Apple juice people, do not come for me. I love me some apple juice, but I'm an orange juice kind of person, okay, don't come for me. You drinking because of these people, you might think that, oh, this will get me their friendship or something, or oh, they'll respect me more, or they think I'm cool as well. Let me tell you something, you are already cool as hell just the way you are. You're cool. Don't let anybody make you think otherwise. If you don't want to drink, or you're not that kind of person to drink, do not do it. Or they're trying to force you into, I don't know, let's say into a dare that you have not agreed to. And yeah, just don't let people force you into it. Stick to your boundaries. And if you are looking for people to respect you, they'll respect you more if you stick to your boundaries and your standards, because I feel like that's basically showing them that, that's me. Accept me the way I am, or don't, or bye. Deuces. Bye. If you really want to win friends and everything, just be who you are. This is gonna sound really cliche. Just be who you are, and the right people who are gonna be part of your gang or your type of people, they're gonna be like, oh, I'll see you. Hi girl. Oh boy. Also, people might feel pressure that, oh my god, what if I don't have any friends at university? I don't know how to make friends. No one wants to be no one wants to be making friends in a cringy way. But you know what? As long as you show who you are and be open to chances of getting to know people who are your kind of people, for example, societies, or maybe you make friends at your course, all different kinds of places. Respect and friendships are earned if you show who you are. True ones. That's what I'm telling you. Up next, this is something I have realized in the past few months as a graduate. Time goes fast and you have to make sure you use up all of the time. Now, I am saying this because sometimes I look back at things oh, I wish I would have taken on that opportunity. You know what? I wish I would have taken up on that volunteering. I wish I would have done that with my friends. And you don't want to be that person who just after university you're just I wish I would have done that. Now I feel what if? You don't want to be thinking about what if. For example, me, a lot of the times I was I was part of the hip hop dance society at university, and I was really shy. I mean, shy is an understatement. I mean, I was dancing. I took part in choreography when it was freestyle. I was like, oh no, I don't know about that. I don't know. No, but you have to get yourself out there, because later on you're gonna think, you know what? Even if you embarrass yourself, at least you know that you've tried. Get yourself out there and do it. Okay? But if you really don't want to do it, obviously don't say yes. But if you secretly want to do it and there's no logical reason holding you back from doing it, you go for it. You do your thing. You're gonna look back at them later and I'm like, oh, that was some fire memory. I'm so glad I did it. With spontaneous things as well. Those are memories that you're like, man, that memory, like, it banged. Like, it was amazing. And yeah, that's my advice for you. Don't be sitting at home and, you know, wasting your time, because then you're gonna look back at it and like think, what did I do in the year 2020? I mean, okay, let's not do 2020 because 2020 is traumatizing. But let's say, what did I do in the year 2018? You know, what did I do? And you can't remember, that's a sign that you should have probably got yourself out there more. But if you're just fine with, if you think you're not the type of person who'll be regretful about it, then you know what, do you? This next one is going to be more related to like academically. So one thing that I found out is that you don't need a degree in certain areas to go into a field. Well, if I wasn't aiming for medicine, I'll be so pissed off, because I did biomedical science, and in my experience, if you didn't do a placement year and you don't have any kind of experience and you graduate, it's going to be so hard to get into the biomedical science field, especially that there are so many limited opportunities, and especially now, the age of coronavirus, it's going to be even harder to find jobs and experience. So either you really need to aim for like getting that placement, making sure that you get that placement. Well, this is relevant to biomedical science, but in other fields as well, you have to make sure that you do your research very extensively. You need to notice if the area that you need to go into, does it really need a degree? Can you do an apprenticeship instead? Because in some cases, apprenticeships can be really useful, because you work for a company and then you don't just gain experience, you might even get like a secure position with them. And how good is that? But for example, let's say you go into medicine, you can get plenty of experience through clinical placements and all these kind of things while you're doing your degree. But let's say in degrees where they don't give you that kind of opportunity, where it's not compulsory for you to do that, it might be harder to integrate into a job without experience. Otherwise, you're starting at a position which you could have done that without a degree and then build yourself up to the point where you want to be. And you know what, that could have been a solution. In terms of deciding about universities, you have to make sure that you focus more on your logic rather than your gut instincts. Don't go to a university just because your friends are going, because later on, like, you are the one who needs a job later on in the future, and you're not gonna do it always with your friends and everything, and very unlikely you're gonna go with your friends like, oh, we went to university together, we went to the same job together. Very unlikely. Even if you have like a really good feeling about a university, but you know, statistically, it's not exactly the greatest, or like something that, you know, would suit you the best, then don't go for it. That's one mistake I've made, because I've listened more to my gut instincts. I did do a pros and cons list comparing universities, but I was very worried. For me, it was the option between DMU and UCL. And I am a DMU student because I trusted my gut instincts. You know, I don't regret going to DMU, but I kind of do. People were amazing, environment was amazing, academically it was okay, but if you could go to UCL, you would go to UCL, wouldn't you? I don't know what I was on. I was probably on crack. No one knows, even I don't. I put more weight on the logic rather than gut instincts. It's important to use both, but in a balanced way. Because I didn't know it at the time, but UCL was one of the best universities to go for in the biomedical science field. But when I applied to university, it was medical science that I applied for, and then in second year, that's when I changed from medical science to biomedical science within the same university, within DMU. But yeah, you need to do extensive research. Do not follow your friends like sheep. If one university here is like amazing and you get accepted to it, you go for it, you do that, do your thing, because in the long run it's gonna be amazing. You'll be able to meet your friends later, you're gonna make new friends at your new university. Also, why university? If you want to try out things that you always wanted to try out, and you know you have time and money and energy, you do it. Do it, go for it, honestly. One thing I've learned in first year, like I had so much fun because I took up on so many stuff. In second year, I think the workload hit me and the stress hit me, and I was like, oh my god, I don't have time to do all these things. I just need to focus on my studies. And that's a good mindset to have, to focus on your studies, but sometimes you have to know when to relax. Sometimes you have to know when to put the pen down, when to, you know, close your laptop, computer, whatever you're working on, and you know what, to say, okay, I'm gonna take out some time for myself. If you wanted to travel and you have the time to do it, travel, go wherever you want. If you always wanted to try skydiving, dancing, basketball, you know, these kind of things, do it, just do it. Take your studies into account, but if your studies allow you to do it, just do it, literally. Let's count the amount of times I said just do it. My next point is research deep into your future, starting from high school, what you want to do. So you know what subject you need to take in college, what grades you need to get, what grades you need to get in GCSE and A-levels and BTECs, you know. Also make sure that you do plan Bs and C, yes. You can even do more than C, you know, feel free, be my guest, because I did more than C plans, so. Like, the more I feel like I can be a very anxious person, so for me it was really calming to think that I've done all this research, so if plan A fails, I always have plan B. Plan B fails, there's always plan C. Hopefully we don't have to go further than plan C. Hopefully. Because I remember when I came to college, they said, okay, where do you want to go? I didn't tell them I want to do medicine, but they were like, well, what university? And they were asking extensive questions, and I was like, what? How am I supposed to know that already? Like, if I don't have my grades, how am I supposed to know what universities, you know? Or like, not even grades, but like, I need to get an idea of how I'm doing in my subject before I know what to apply for. But you know what, that was a rookie mistake. I wish I would have done my research more extensively. Focus on subjects that are actually, that are more weighted on than others. If you don't know what you're doing, that's fine. Take your time. But it's better to experiment with different kinds of things, you know, what's your liking. And when you have found that out, that's like the most amazing feeling ever. Finding out what you're doing. All you have to do then is just work to get where you want to. That's all I'm saying. Okay, my next point is do not lower your boundaries for anyone. Let it be in a friendship kind of way, in a relationship kind of way, because it's just not. You're basically bending your own rules to suit other people, and that's not good. Like, you know what, you all are kings and queens. Why would you lower your boundaries for anyone? I remember I used to be a person who used to bend my rules for people, and I used to think like, okay, I can do maybe just this one thing. No, again, it's not gonna make them respect you more, and they're gonna think that they can keep doing this to you. You have to show where is the line from the beginning. You know, you can't just allow them to step all over you and your boundaries. And if they don't like it, the door is there. Bye Felicia, we don't want to hear from you. But yes, yeah, do not lower your boundaries for anyone. I've learned it the hard way again. I had some hard life lessons. Later on, you're gonna be like, things, let's say for example in a relationship, things are great, but I'm not getting this. Why are you not getting that? It may be related that you lowered your boundary. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. But yeah, and that's just me. Next, are you that person? Hold up, let me get into my advertisement mode. Hold up. Are you that person who wants to live their best life, but also want to get the best grades? Are you that person? I got a solution for you. If you want to live your best life ever, honey, make sure that you put in hard work behind the scenes. And make sure you know how to compromise with yourself. Let's say, for example, there's a party or a meetup with your friends, a sleepover, whatever you want to do. But you have a lot of work happening. I would say you would have to either work not just the night before, but make sure you have a plan. When am I going to work this out? Because you can't just go and do that thing without, you know, thinking about the consequences, what's going to happen later on. You always have to compromise with yourself. Okay, if I'm going to go out on the weekend, I'm going to have to make sure that maybe I put away some time throughout the weekdays. I'd say 2 hours this day, 3 hours on that day, and I get it done before I go. Otherwise, it's really not worth it. One night of fun, or maybe, I don't know, 2 nights of fun, it's not worth it, because if you want those grades and your grades are gonna get ruined because of that, was it really worth it? And if you're one of those people who work well under pressure, good for you. I'm not one of those people. If you don't work good under pressure, I recommend you that you do your work according to your compromise that you made with yourself. If you don't meet that compromise, don't do it. Just leave out the door. I'm telling you, bye. Obviously, if it involves bookings and these kind of things, you have to really plan ahead. You can't just be like last minute, yeah, I'm not going, because that's kind of baiting on people. Actually, it is baiting on people. Also, that if you're going out at night, going to the club, going to meet your friends, going to the library, you have to make sure that you have a safe way of getting home. You don't want to get kidnapped, you don't want to get stabbed, you don't want to get murdered. Make sure you get home safe, because the amount of times I almost got kidnapped, son, is just, it shouldn't be happening, okay? The amount of anxiety I gave myself in those times where I didn't think about how am I going to get home safe. Also, if you're thinking of going home with friends, make sure those friends are trustable. They're not just going to leave you in the middle of the thing. And if you discuss it with them, you know, you're going to go home together, make sure that they stick to that and they're trustable, you know. And if you're not sure yet, you know, what kind of people are they, you know, can they be trusted with this kind of thing, you have to make sure that you have a plan B, a taxi, Uber, bus, have a car ride or something, get someone pick you up, or you bring your own car, you know. You just have to make sure you arrange yourself a safe way of getting home, because I feel like even if once one person, like, you know, bailed on me or something, because I had my fair share of walking home at 2 a.m. by myself in the dark through the park that has been, I don't know, it's just like, it's a very dodgy park, everyone knows it, then it's really not safe. Like, don't leave it to chance, because you might think like, oh, this is never gonna happen to me. You might be that one person who's gonna get robbed and stabbed at night, and I'm not even kidding, there's no joke about this. You might be that one person who that happens to, so you have to make sure that you have a safe way of getting home. Also, if you ever feel lonely at university or you feel homesick, just make sure that you remember that you are definitely not the only person feeling that way at university, and make sure that you don't bottle it up, because that will lead to worse things. If you ever think like, oh, my friends don't care about this, my friends don't care about me and these kind of things, that's just your inner self-saboteur telling you these kind of things and saying, like, you know, just to sabotage you. Do not listen to it. Your friends do care, your friends and family love you. You go and talk with them and tell them what's your concerns and everything, and I'm sure you can talk with them. Talking about it is always better than keeping it in. You know what I mean? Even if there is, like, let's say you are in some kind of trouble that, let's say for example, there is no solution to it, talking about it is always better. It tends to make, you know, people feel better. It tends to make me feel better. So that's my advice to you about that. Make sure that you don't isolate yourself from others. Maybe you can visit home for like your family more often. If you're an international student, that might be harder to do, but you can maybe video chat your family and friends more. If you have the option to, then, you know, obviously visit your family and friends more often, and, you know, that can be a thing. Also, one thing I am guilty of is that I always overstress over tasks. I overstress, and I did the most. I did the most for tasks. Oh my god. I'm telling you, if you will see my folders, it's immaculate, which is amazing. It's an amazing thing to have, but do not overstress over things. Like, as long as you know that you've put in your best efforts towards a task, in an academic task, you're fine. You're good to go. So when you think you've got to that breaking point where it's like, I can't take this anymore, I can't take this anymore, take a break. It's okay, take a break. But one day of a break or 2 days of a break, they're not gonna change, you know, they're not gonna change the outcome of it, especially if you started really early. If you started last minute, I don't know what to say to you. Why did you start last minute? One day is really not gonna do much, so do that. Another thing that you should take away from this video, make sure that you maintain and nourish your close friendships, because quality over quantity, darling. Because if you ever think about it, you know, the people who have a lot of friends, well, it's not obvious, it's not true for everyone, but a lot of people who have like a lot of friends and, you know, they don't have enough time to be with their close friends, you know, you have to make sure that you maintain and nourish that friendship, because those friendships are, you know, the most valuable for you. That's why you have to make sure you don't neglect, you know, your friends, your main girl, because your main girl go like, where the hell have you been? And I'm like, I was just out with like my 1 million friends, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, you have to make sure you leave some time for your close friends. Value those friendships, cherish them friendships, make sure you spend enough time with them. Yeah, that is my opinion. It's good to make friends, don't misunderstand me. I love making friends, but you have to also make sure that there's a right balance, you know, you don't neglect like your close friends. And my last point for today, put yourself first. Don't be around negative energy. Put yourself before the idealistic kind of loyalty to toxic friends, because toxic friends can really ruin your, you know, your mental health, and you know, it's just gonna make you're gonna feel cranky every day. You know, when people say, oh, but you didn't stick by, like when you've tried multiple times to fix a specific thing, for example, in a friendship, you tried multiple times to fix a relationship and it just didn't work. You don't have to stick around if you think it's very detrimental to you. Protect your peace before everyone else. Obviously, if it's like, you know, someone really close to you, it's really important that you try to fix it, you know. But if you've tried it and it doesn't work, you know, don't hold on to it. Don't hold the toxic things, that negative energy. You don't need that in your life. Just let go of it, and you know, you'll both carry on with your lives, and you're gonna have much happier lives without all that toxicity. I don't know about them, but you know, you're gonna have a much better life. So that would be the end of this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this where I give advice about anything, give this video a like. Make sure you comment down below if you want me to do specific topics that I can talk about, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you are a frequent watcher, frequent, because I only have like 3-4 videos. If you're a frequent watcher and you're not subscribed, you better make sure that you press that subscribe button and the notification bell, okay? But anyways, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Bye.